Hi guys, my name is Annabelle, and today I'm gonna tell you a story about an event that made a huge impact to my life. Anyways, enjoy watching this. So, you all probably know about that one particular pandemic that happened in 2020 because of coronavirus, right? Well, that is the event I'm gonna talk about. So, I'm gonna tell you all about how I faced the pandemic, or to be exact, my experience facing it. So the pandemic happened back when I was a fourth grader, and I was the type of person who is good natured. I was trusting, and I was a little bit short tempered. However, all of that changed when suddenly, on a random weekend at the month of February, my school made an announcement to a group chat, which is a parents group chat, that us students are given a 1 week break. At first I was like, oh wow, that's just amazing, can't you believe it? That means I can like play games, I can like sleep all day, and oh my god, I said that, or to be exact, I thought like that before knowing the full context. I didn't even know what is happening outside of the world. And a week had passed, and guess what? It all started from a 1 week break into a literal lockdown. We got a lockdown, and it turned into an issue to schools as to how students will learn. And that's where they come to a solution. That solution being PJJ. Anyway, for your information, PJJ is like a short term for pembelajaran jarak jauh. So it's basically online school. Okay, so basically in my school we use three apps which is important, being Zoom, Google Class, and Google Form. And during PJJ, we also have a rule, which I find quite annoying, but I feel like every other school also has this rule, which is where we had to use our uniform from top to bottom. And I was like, oh hell no, I'm not doing this. Like, why? Why do I have to use my uniform from top to bottom? And because it's still a rule, I still have to follow it. Technically, I follow it, but technically, I also did not. So, what did I do? I just basically use my uniform from top. So, if the teacher were to ask me to like open my camera, I would open it, and the teacher would see me like with uniforms. But in reality, I also use my pajamas as well, but I use my pajamas only at the bottom since I find it comfortable. Sometimes I would also eat my breakfast while I was doing Zoom meetings, because there are times where I would accidentally woke up a little bit late, meaning that I had to like instantly go to Zoom meetings and all. And hey, don't worry about it. I close my camera and mute my mic for that. Uh, After Zoom meetings and all, after PJJ is finished, I would play games with my friends, or I would watch YouTube. So when the pandemic ended, I had been staying home for 3 years, which is quite wild in my opinion. And during those period of time, I changed into a different person. I turned moody, I turned self-conscious, and heck, I have become even more short-tempered than before, which is bad. Anyways, I ended up becoming more anxious. I ended up grew anxious when I had to like meet people, especially groups of people. Other than that, sometimes I would stare at people for no reason. Whether I know them or not, I would actually stare at them. And I would feel bad for them because I feel like every time I look at people, I feel like I look at them with judgment. Also, sometimes if someone were to touch me, like they basically poke me from behind or they touch me from my shoulder, and I didn't notice them, I would flinch and panicked for a while. However, now I'm not like that, I guess, but I would definitely flinch and panic if someone were to scream behind me. Anyways, like I've said before, the pandemic really made a huge impact on me. I ended up turned to my worst self, but now I try to improve myself for the better so that I can be larger than life, I can be more kinder, I can be good natured, kind hearted, and I can be more patient. Anyways, that's all my storytelling. Thank you for listening. Sorry if my grammar is broken. Sorry if there are other issues that you may have noticed. Thank you. Bye bye.